And there are these kind of fantastical creatures in the Star Wars series that are almost incidental, in Disney films, and in Never-Ending Story. I mean, these are monsters who, could be capable of doing you harm, but they're benign.
There's also, we have to ask Murray, your favorite one.
Well, we talked about humanity, didn't we? And people who've been listening to this show for a long time know that I love King Kong. It is a perfect movie, and he is a perfect monster.
And here's the original King Kong from 1933, just been introduced as the 8th wonder of the world, and the best is snapping pictures.
I get chills just listening to it. This is awful. I get sentimental about the worst thing, but it is a perfect movie, and in many ways it's the archetype for a monster, and for a monster for whom you ultimately feel sorry. It's not his fault.
Murray Harlow talking about his favorite film buff with us here in Studio 3A, and here's an email from, this is from Jill in Baltimore. I got some good home thoughts from my middle schoolers and husband for Netflixing The Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Science Friday. They'll talk about the 40th anniversary of the Internet. We'll see you again on Monday. This is Talk of the Nation from NPR News. I'm Neil Cummins in Washington.
NPR comes from NPR member stations and from Georgia Pacific Professional, maker of N-Motion touchless soap and towel products, and washing and drying tips at gppro.com/wash. From Kashi, fostering a community at kashi.com, devoted to living well naturally. Kashi, 7 whole grains on a mission. And from Lending Tree, providing customers with the ability to manage their money, credit, and loans all in one place at lendingtree.com. This is NPR.
Thousands of runners will line up for the New York City Marathon this weekend. I'm Ira Plato. Join me on Science Friday for a look at how humans are adapted for long-distance running. Why working up a sweat might be good for your brain. Plus gene therapy for blindness and a celebration of the Internet's 40th birthday. It's on Science Friday from NPR News.
Talk of the Nation Science Friday comes your way tomorrow afternoon at 2 here on your NPR News station, WYPR. Fresh Air is coming up next, and then at 4, it's All Things Considered.
You may not know his name, but his keen eye has shaped a remarkable list of great movies. The Shawshank Redemption, A Beautiful Mind, No Country for Old Men. He's cinematographer Roger Deakins.
And you might go, oh wow, that's a spectacular shot, a big crane move or something. But it's not necessarily right for the film because it's huge out.
The look of a good story, laid out All Things Considered from NPR News.
That story, plus the latest news on healthcare reform efforts, local headlines from WYPR's Diane Finlayson, and our Thursday look at history on your Maryland. It's all coming your way on All Things Considered just about an hour from now, starting at 4 and going till 6:30 here on your public radio, WYPR and WYPR HD Baltimore, WYPF Frederick, WYPL Ocean City, and online at WYPR.org, your NPR news station. It's 3 o'clock.
From WHYY in Philadelphia, I'm Terry Gross with Fresh Air. On today's Fresh Air, we go back to 1910 and the story of the biggest forest fire in
Daniel,
American
if you look
history.
real closely, you see the directions on there how to open that.
Oh.
I might have to invent my own way.
No, it's got a red arrow on the top corner.
There's a little red strip,
There you go.
and it's in 3 little pieces, as if somebody was going to eat one of these things in 3 pieces.
I put the whole thing in my big mouth. And it is pretty good stuff.
Hey, you can be on camera. There you are.
Where are you going to put it?
Well, I'm going to have a copy of it, and you're going to have a copy of it. You'll actually get to see a lot of how this was.
Oh, you're taking pictures of it in progress.
Mm-hmm.
Is the hole in the bottom the same size as the hole in the top?
Mm-hmm.
Slightly smaller?
Yep. And there's a 1/2 inch of that gets bent in to be the bottom. So the actual bottom is about there.
Yeah.
This turns into that.
And this
Is the spout.
through here?
Nope, it actually goes like that. And I've got to bend this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it'll be,
Oh, so you can draw off the bottom.
yeah, and the spout comes up so that it's level with the top, so the
Okay.
water doesn't fall out.
Have an audio on this?
Mm-hmm. So we'll have what, I'm not narrating it as I go, but we'll have this little bit, and all the specialized little tools.
This in itself is going to be a masterpiece, isn't it?
It's something. It took me a 1/2 hour just to make the pattern to cut that out. And then I had to make this little tool. This little tool is what lets you get in there and make that sort of saddle
Yeah.
fold. And then we have, that's forged out of a 3-pound hammer. That's the drawing hammer that actually makes the body. That got forged out of a hammerhead like this. It was a 3-pound head like this that I drew out to make the.
It's so shiny so that you wouldn't mar the surface.
Yeah, it won't tear anything too, because it's the little tears and scratches that are the dangerous part. And then we have these little things, which are the holders that you can get in there and smooth out all the little ripples, because those little ripples that are in there are from this hammer drawing it in, and then you use a flat hammer like that
Flatten out the riffles.
to take the little, take them out. And
Are we coming in under budget? I'm starting to worry.
well, we're in the right projection.
Okay.
We might be a little bit more, which is also why I was going to ask you too if I could have another pull on the total, because I've got end of the month coming up here.
And I've given you $250.
Yes.
And how much of a pull are you expecting, sir?
Well, another $250 would probably keep me well, because I have some other money coming in, but
Well, this whole thing not supposed to be over 5, is it?
well, you said you wanted 2 of them, and we were talking
Oh.
5.
But we were trying to decide who was going to get the second one.
Ooh. Wow.
Our master says, ask and ye shall receive.
Wow. I should ask for more often then. No,
That will get old pretty quick.
I understand. No, but like most of these projects that take longer than, it's not so much that there's so much time in it cumulatively, it's the fact that I end up getting about 5 hours out of the day to actually work on it.
Because I'm in here picking on you now.
Well, that and working on the cabin and having other things happen. If somebody shows up, you have to deal with them, even if it's just to tell them to come back
Even if it is
later.
inconvenient. Is your roof leak? You ought to patch that.
No, that actually works pretty good. But so we have 2 spouts, 2 cans.
Are they identical? Well, they're pretty close, aren't they?
They will be, but like I said, the on these guys, I'm going to keep the lesser of whichever. You'll get your choice out of the two, whichever one you find better.
You said I get 2 of them.
Well, I thought we were going for different sizes.
Okay.
I'm going to have one of the 2 quarts, and you'll have one of the 2 quarts, and then we'll have a 5 quart,
No.
one between.
No, 3.
The 3.
5's too big, I think. In this time of day, a 5 is too big to be functional.
Okay.
You know, it would be out of place on a normal electric stove.
Well, I think that's probably why I have the patterns for the.
Yeah, you were gonna re-evaluate or re-prepare your patterns.
Yeah, that's the 2 quart pattern. That's for the little guy that we've got there.
Yeah.
And that's the 3 quart pattern.
Yeah, that is about actual size, isn't it?
That is.
What are you gonna put up here?
I'm going to cast little brass knobs. So we'll have handmade little brass knobs.
Okay.
There's nothing out of a hardware store in this whole thing. There will not be a rivet or a screw or anything that isn't handmade. So
All done by Gorilla Forge in the Frog Island Industrial Park. You're not gonna put that label off that box in there, right? It says made in China.
no, we'll put made in Korea. And then there's the.
There's the Tokar.
Yeah, that'll go up on the handle instead of Mr. Schindler.
Yeah. And where's the serial number gonna go?
Well, that has yet to be determined. There's enough room on that handle. We have to stamp the numbers for the size too. They had 6 quart and 4 quart ones that were 6s and 4s. But
Well, I would think that the serial number would go pretty close to the Tokar stamp.
they'll know which Tokar it was. It'll be the first Tokar or the second Tokar or the third Tokar that made it.
You can put D Tokar on that picture.
Yes,
You can put Dan Tokar on that picture.
I probably could. Well, they used they used the first initial and Schindler, but then they had Conrad Schindler and Conrad George Schindler, and there's some confusion sometimes as to whether it
It's on
was.
switch to the same one. If you're gonna put those other things, what other things don't you gonna put up on the top?
Just the size number, whether it's a 2 quart or a 3 quart.
Well, Tokar's gonna be in the center. And then you could put 2 quart or 3 quart to the left of that, depending on how you look at it. And the serial number to the right of it would be Tokar. And you're probably right, it should not just be a 1, it should be a 001 and a 002.
Is that
But then what you can do to make it come out just right is put the 003 on the 3 quart one.
wow? That would confuse people in the future.
Isn't that the object?
Well, I keep thinking that somebody will start looking through the books to see whether there was a Tokar living here in 1840 that was making copper kettles. It's occasionally happened with other things. There was a gentleman named Hacker Martin that used to make Kentucky rifles down, I can't remember, I think it was Murfreesboro, Tennessee. But he was working in the 1920s and the 1930s. And when people got all hot for Kentucky rifles for the bicentennial in 1976, everybody and his brother went looking, and of course there were enough nice Hacker Martin rifles out there that he did everything exactly the way, that it was more that he was continuing on the tradition. His grandfather and
It was no
great-grandfather.
longer Kentucky rifle, it was a Tennessee rifle.
Yeah. But the point of it was that there was an awful lot of people who thought they had a 200-year-old rifle.
It was only 123.
Well,
Every once in a while you ask him for cigar boxes, so you may keep that box. And if you want more cigar boxes, I'll provide them, but I don't know if you've got room to stack them or not.
I've got a sliding drawer thing that they make good drawer dividers so that I don't have things rattle around.
Okay, I'll get you some more. I don't know if that's the chocolates, because after Halloween, they'll be obsolete.
Chocolate becomes obsolete after Halloween. We have to wait for Easter and Valentine's Day.
For Thanksgiving dinner. They are pretty good, aren't you?
Excellent, and much better than my own candies.
Well, I didn't ask for that. See you, Daniel.